Kerr.
Officer to ask the Scottish Government what urgent action it will take to address the reported crisis in the college sector in light of the findings in the Audit Scotland publication, Scotland's Colleges 2025.
Minister Ben Macpherson.
Presiding Officer, I note the publication, which I have, of course, read carefully today. And as the First Minister made clear earlier, this Government is absolutely committed to ensuring that we invest in our college sector to support students to move on to positive destinations. But the challenges we face in managing our public finances have not in any way been helped by austerity policies of successive UK governments. The recent increases of ENICs for Scotland's colleges and across the public sector, and the impact of energy bills and inflation on the operating costs of colleges. In spite of this challenging financial climate, in the current financial year, the Scottish Government is investing over £750 million in our 24 colleges to support apprenticeships and a wide range of skills and qualifications. The most recent Scottish Funding Council allocations provided a 2.6% increase in teaching funding for 25-26 and an increase of almost 5% in capital maintenance to help colleges invest in their learning experience of students and in the skills Scotland needs for the future, which of course is exactly what this Government and all governments should be doing.
Stephen Kerr.
Well, excuses, excuses, excuses. Blaming everybody, taking no responsibility for the decisions the Government have made. That is typical of this SNP Government. We had the First Minister in denial, almost writing off Audit Scotland's report, not taking any notice of what the report says. Well, what that report says, Presiding Officer, is that college funding has been cut by 20% in real terms since 2021-22. 7 colleges in deficit last year, 2 requiring bailouts, staff morale collapsing, thousands of students losing out on opportunity, and Gavin Donoghue, the Colleges of Scotland, warning that those cuts have directly led to fewer students, unsustainable staff reductions, crumbling estates and reductions in the courses on offer. The members can heckle all they like. I'm repeating what Audit Scotland and Colleges Scotland are saying. Now, that might not be good enough for some of those members, but let me ask the Minister, does the Minister accept that by cutting off access to colleges, it is hypocritical of this SNP Government, because the Government is in effect kicking away the ladder out of poverty for thousands of young people? Will he commit today to restoring funding so that colleges can play their full part in tackling inequality and creating equality of opportunity for all?
Minister.
First of all, I want to record my appreciation and admiration for the college staff who do, whether it's in my capacity representing my constituents or this capacity serving the people of Scotland as a whole. This Government and I recognise strongly the contribution that our colleges make to enabling people to fulfil their potential and enabling people to improve their circumstances, of course. And that is why there was that increase in the spending for our colleges of 2.6% in this financial year. Now, the question of the public finances are, of course, challenged. Nobody is denying that. The First Minister emphasised it today, and I'm emphasising it right now. In an environment where we have seen inflation costs go up in the years that are stated in the Audit Scotland report, which I very much respect, and I will be carefully examining the recommendations. Of course I will. But we cannot be ignorant to the fact that we are operating in an environment where the Scottish budget has been cut many years in the past. We are operating in an environment where inflation has eroded the capacity of the budget to be able to be utilised. We are operating in an environment where the national insurance contributions have been imposed on the Scottish public sector without recourse from UK Government in terms of repayment of that. I met with Colleges Scotland today. I'm looking forward to working with them constructively on the challenges we face together and on making sure that Scotland's people are able to fulfil their potential, including through our colleges.
I'm just going to say at this point there's a great amount of interest in this item of business, but we must have more concise questions and responses, and we must hear one another. Stephen Kerr.
Well, if the Minister, who I like, by the way, he's been very badly served by whoever wrote his answers this afternoon, because if he's got admiration for Audit Scotland, then why is the government cutting its funding? Not according to the Conservatives, but according to Audit Scotland, who I put on the record I greatly admire for their honesty in bringing to light these facts. And so, look, Audit Scotland's warning us. The colleges are being forced to prioritise cheaper courses over costlier courses, which are the ones that are in demand by employers. And apprenticeship demand is going unmet.
Mr Kerr. Mr Stewart, I will just remind you that I am chairing this session. I have called for concise questions and responses, and where questions and responses are exceptionally long, we will be unable to take any further members. Mr Kerr.
Well, Audit Scotland make it clear that a cut to their funding of a fifth is damaging life chances and shrinking the skills base that Scotland's economy depends on. And at a time when we need a highly skilled, future-proofed workforce to drive growth and prosperity, why is the government funding colleges on the cheap? Why is the government cutting funding? Will the Minister admit that this failure is not only harming individual students and their families, but is actively sabotaging Scotland's economic future?
Minister.
We are living through a time of extreme economic change in the quarter of the way into the 21st century. We have huge economic potential here in Scotland to realise. We are attracting in more indirect investment, and our skills system is fundamental to that. I have made very, very clear since coming into post that, along with all of my Scottish Government colleagues, we are committed to working with employers, with colleges, with universities, with local government, with wider Scottish society to realise the huge potential of our people. And that involves, yes, making that 2.6% increase in the college budget in this year. But it also involves working with our college sector, as I met with them collaboratively today, on transformation and on meeting the needs of our economy going forward. And I look forward to reflecting on the recommendations in this Audit Scotland report, working collaboratively with the SFC, working collaboratively with Colleges Scotland and the wider sector to realise more of Scotland's remarkable human potential. And this government is absolutely committed to investing in that.